The Pima County Sheriff's Department just released the 2 ransom notes sent days after Nancy Guthrie vanished from her Arizona home. Now they're hoping somebody out there recognizes the writing style. Tomorrow marks 6 months since Nancy Guthrie disappeared, and there's still no suspects. Now, the first note, addressed to Savannah Guthrie, says her mother would be held a maximum of 7 days or until the family paid $4 million in Bitcoin. The second, addressed to the family, said they didn't understand the gravity of Nancy's health, that she was dead and buried, and even apologized for the way things ended. Now, investigators have combed through thousands of tips, but 6 months later, no suspect, and now they're putting the notes in front of the public. Why now? Joining me is clinical police and forensic psychologist. He's the author of Evil Thoughts, Wicked Deeds, Dr. Kris Mohandie. Kris, start with the timing of this. We're obviously 6 months in. We're only now seeing these 2 notes. They're asking the public if they'd be able to recognize the writing style, which to the layperson, it seems just like a little bit of a big ask. Is the department out of ideas here, out of leads?
Jason, I think you're right. I think they're running out of leads and they're trying to chase any ones that potentially could be fruitful. This is what worked out, for example, in the Ted Kaczynski case, is the family member recognized the so-called Unabomber's letters, his writing. So it is an excellent investigative tool. The problem I'm having is that there's some stuff in these letters that strains credibility as to whether these are legitimate or not. That being said, you still got to look into it. It's the best thing that they think that they have going that the public might be able to help with. And I can go through some of those things if you're interested in, but
let's talk a little bit about they're calling it the unique linguistic style and whether or not we can actually learn anything from some of the language here. But is there anything in either of these letters that give you a clue as to, not obviously specifically who sent it, but is it a male or a female who wrote this? Is it someone who's younger or older? Can you tell?
There's some things in these letters that reveal the writer. I wouldn't go so far as to wager male or female. I would say that it's a single person. They go on and on about we, and then in the end, you will not hear from me, and they slip in that so-called ransom note. The writing is good writing. It's grammatically correct. There's only one real slip where they use the word receive twice, and the second time it's misspelled. That's probably an accident, but they're intelligent, probably above average intelligent, probably educated or maybe self-educated, but they write good. They use good grammar. So it's a bright person, probably educated. They're tech savvy. The fact that they want to use Bitcoin and they're comfortable sending these what appear to be emails.
But how do you know it's not written by AI or altered by AI? These are not handwritten notes, and even if they were, they could have just been stealing something from one of the AI software companies.
Could be, but it still then would reveal a tech-savvy person that's relying on ChatGPT or something like that. I think that it's somebody that is bright. I'm bothered by why ask for USD? Why specify U.S. dollars, yet not specify the time zone, being Tucson and all.
Well, so why say USD at all? Exactly. Americans don't do that. Again, is that a hint?
It could be a hint, or it could be just, somebody doing what they think they need to do to make a legitimate ransom note, because in the very beginning they say, she will be held for ransom. Well, why do you need to even say that, if it's legit? Yeah. So that's kind of an interesting choice of words. She will be held for ransom. Well, if you're trying to ask for money, then she is being held for ransom. Those are some weird things that to me, it makes me question the credibility. And why $4 million? I think, where does that number come from and what relevance might that have to this investigation? That's a very specific number. If we look at the JonBenet Ramsey case, for example, and there was a specific number in the so-called note from that case that aligned with a bonus that the father was supposedly getting, if I'm remembering accurately. So these numbers are not being pulled out of nowhere. They could be meaningful, the $4 million.
They could be. And the other problem is they could be completely random, and it was generated by AI. That's why I look at something like this, and I wonder what the public can actually offer. But obviously, if you have any information, you should contact authorities.
Absolutely. I think what it does is it gets attention back out there again.
Yeah.
And maybe if this is legit, it could lead to somebody recognizing some unique tell. The second letter about her alleged death, I don't see that a legitimate person would have written that letter. Why expose yourself to capture by one more communication? That bothers me.
Why admit the death? It just, a lot of this just doesn't quite make sense to me. But again, that might also be the point, not to make sense. Dr. Kris Mohandie, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Jason.